gals are up there every day measuring the snow. Now the difference between the Wolf Creek Pass data and the Wolf Creek Ski Resort data is that the Wolf Creek Ski Resort sometimes opens later in the year, and other years, and this year is a prime example, they missed out on all that April and May snow that was falling up there. So that's not included. So you will normally find the ski patrol data, if you go back before 1976 and compare it, the ski patrol data is less.
Does it usually end April 1st?
Normally the first weekend in April, normally.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and this year was abysmal and they still closed here. And if you look back, there was one year, and I can't remember what year it was right now, but it had been somewhat of an abysmal winter, and we could see looking forward into April that it was gonna be some really good snow. I think it was like their 40th anniversary or something. It was a big anniversary for them. And they stayed open into April, and they got a lot of snow. So that was a good decision to stay open. So when we look back, there has been 4 winters that were worse than this winter that we just had. So this winter, we only had 228 inches of snow up at Wolf Creek. The Wolf Creek Ski Resort average is 360, whereas if you compare it to the past data, that was like 408 inches.
It's around that.
Yeah. So in 76, 77, the following winter was 357, right at average. The following winter, in recent history, that was the best winter ever. 570 inches at the Wolf Creek Ski Resort. At the pass, they measured over 800 inches of snow that winter. So after the worst winter in recent data, two winters later, they had the best winter. And as we go through and we look at this data, every year after an abysmal winter, they were at least average, except for 2017-18, I'm sure you all remember that. The following winter was 490 inches. And in 2018, we also had an abysmal monsoon. So that was good that we had that nice winter after that. And then this year was only 228 inches. So based on recent historical data, we should be at least average or above average, just given that one data point, okay? So a little hope there. So what is the monsoon? The monsoon sets up with the subtropical ridge to our east, and when it starts pulling in with its clockwise and anticyclonic flow, it pulls in the moisture all the way from the Gulf area up into our area. And that's like in the months of July and August. And then as we get into September, it starts pulling the moisture in from the Pacific storms that are going on there at that time. So the life cycle of the monsoon historically starts in late June. And it's what we call sputters, in that your moisture is not really deep at that time. You'll see your thunderstorms are high-base thunderstorms, maybe 8,000, 9,000 feet above ground level, and they're gonna be dry thunderstorms. You're gonna see a lot of just virga, rain falling down that's not reaching the ground because it's drying out. And those tend to have a lot of lightning with them, because you're talking a very warm atmosphere, so you have a lot of positive and negative charges going on. So a lot of lightning, not a lot of rain, but then because that cold air is coming out from like 30,000 feet and then rushing down to the earth, then you end up with a lot of wind as well. So the early thunderstorms aren't really giving us any relief. And they oftentimes will spark those early summer wildfires. As we get into mid-July and late August, that's the peak monsoon time. And almost every afternoon, we should be seeing thunderstorms. Now, not everybody is going to get rain. It might be that the first day, only this side of the room is gonna see rain. The next day, only you folks are gonna see rain. Then as we get into September, and if we start to see Pacific tropical systems getting caught up in that flow, now you're talking about the deep, deep tropical moisture, because it's not as far from the Baja area as it is from the major Gulf area coming up towards us. So though that deep, deep tropical moisture is gonna that's where you get into the thunderstorms that last well into the evening and nocturnal thunderstorms overnight. And that's when everybody in the room is gonna see some sort of rain with that sort of moisture if it comes into our area. Let's see. Oh yeah, so down at the bottom here, you're gonna see our average precipitation for every month. So you see that June, the month we're about to roll into, is historically our driest month here in Pagosa. And then if we fast forward 2 more months to August, August is our wettest month with an average of 2.7 inches of moisture.